Hi and welcome to this balance focus yoga flow. This is for those with an existing yoga practice, maybe intermediate yogis. Today we're going to be working on our strength, flexibility, and of course our balancing skills. Let's get right into it. Starting in an upright seated position with your knees folded underneath you, or maybe crossing your legs in front of you. Find a tall spine. Beginning to breathe smoothly in and out through your nose. Bringing yourself into the present. Pressing pause or just setting aside everything else that is going on in your life right now or in your day. No past, no future, just you and your breath, your yoga mat. Finding a deeper, smoother breath and longer exhales. Setting the intention now to find balance through this practice. Maybe for you that purely means physical balance, a skill you're working on. But for many of us, balance is something we're always striving to find internally. Balance between strength and softness, balance between action and stillness. Finding those places where we need to find balance in our lives and taking our yoga practice off the mat and into the rest of our day. And now from here, in your kneeling position, take the arms out and up as you inhale, reach into the fingers, look to the thumbs, and exhale, draw them back down. We'll do that 2 more times, reaching out and up. Exhale, draw the hands down. And 1 more time. Nice. And then I'll just turn to the side here. In your low kneel position, tuck the toes under. We're going to stretch out the toes. If this feels too intense for you, you can sit up into a higher kneeling position, but really get that stretch by leaning back into the heels. You can take a little rock from side to side and try to splay your little toes out. Nice, just staying here for a couple of breaths, taking it to a point that feels like a nice, healthy stretch for you. Stretching our feet is so important. And then taking the hands down in front of you, see if you can tilt the knees upwards so you're on the tops of the feet, stretching out the tops of the feet. Now, I practice this a lot, so my knees are quite high, but yours might be down here. That's okay. Just take it again to a point that doesn't feel impossibly painful, but just like a healthy stretch that you can hold and still breathe into. And then for our first balancing challenge, you might want to squeeze the thighs together and see if you can lift the hands in front of you. So we're really balancing on the tops of the feet here. If this is too much for you, just stay down with your hands. Take it, make the practice your own, and then bring your hands down if you're in that balance. We'll come over into a tabletop position, ground down through the hands and start to just rock back and forth, first of all, to warm up the wrists and the knees. You can take it around in a circle and then back the other way. And now moving into some cat cows, extending the arms, press the mat away. Inhale, look up, tilt the tailbone up. And then as you exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. And now begin to move with your own breath. Inhale, scoop it under, open that chest. Exhale, round the back. Moving with your breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. And then coming back to center. Take your left hand slightly closer into the center of the mat. Extend your right arm forward and your left toes back for a balancing position. Whenever we're balancing, it really helps to take the gaze ahead of us. So rather than looking down, you're going to look forward to the floor ahead of your mat. Breathe in, find that length, find your mula bandha. So drawing that space behind your belly button in and up, drawing your pelvic floor in and up. And then we'll take it on the other side. Reach back with your right foot, reach forward with your left fingers. Flex or point the right toes so the lifted leg is really active here. And hug your belly in, trying to make that straight line. And then we'll bring it back onto the other side. Coming to this position again, breathe in. Exhale, draw your elbow and your knee towards each other. We'll do that 2 more times. Extend as you breathe in. Move with your breath. Exhale, round. And again, really press the floor away with the left hand. Nice. And then from here, see if you can reach back for your left foot, the outside of the left foot with your right hand. If this is enough for you, stay here feeling that stretch in the front of the left thigh. If you want to come to a tiger position, you can kick the foot into the hand, finding that lift, squaring the hips, opening your heart forward. So this is a back bend. And exhale, release. Take a little child's pose, just giving your wrists and your shoulders a break. Take a couple of deep breaths. And when you're ready, come back up to your tabletop position again. We will take it on the other side. So this time back with the right foot, forward with the left arm. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee, rounding the back. With the breath, slow it down so that the movement matches the pace of your own breath. Always moving in line with the breath rather than moving and then trying to get the breath to catch up. Okay, so now reaching back to the outside edge of your right foot with the left hand. You could also hold the inside wherever feels good for you, and then begin to kick the right foot into the left hand, feeling this tremendous opening through the left shoulder and the front of your right hip. Inhale, see if you can look up here to challenge your balance even more. And then come out with control. And sit yourself down into a child's pose once again. Take a couple of breaths. Let me take off my socks here. And then coming up to your tabletop position once again. Press it into the hands, press it out of the shoulders, breathe in. Then as you exhale, lift your hips, bring your belly to your thighs. So knees are in a deep squat position. Find a flat back and a long spine to come into your downward facing dog. And then if it's in your practice, you can bring the balls of the big toes together and lower the heels to the mat. If your heels don't reach the mat, bend your knees and just try and focus on finding that flat back and an open chest. Nice. Taking a couple of breaths here, you can pedal out the feet. And then next balancing position, look between the hands. Take your left hand slightly closer to the center of the mat and then reach back with your right hand for the outside of your left calf or ankle, looking underneath your left shoulder, twisting from the belly. If you wobble, that's okay. Just laugh and try again. It's not that serious. couple of breaths here if you can. And then we'll take it on the other side. Right hand comes back down. Left hand lifts and reaches to the outside edge of your right ankle or calf. A couple of breaths here into the space where you feel that amazing twist. And place your left hand down. We'll take a vinyasa, just warming up into the body. Breathe in, bring the shoulders forwards over the wrists, and then come down. Knees, chest and chin, pelvis stays high. Breathe in to curl forward into a cobra position. And exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Really just taking it here, reaching up through the right toes. Keep pressing the left heel down to feel that stretch. Balancing here. Find as much engagement in the right leg as you can. And then bend the knee. Draw some nice big circles with the knee. Leading the movement with the knee to open out that hip. And then from there, scoop and step it forward between the hands. Rise up to a high lunge position. So finding your balance even here, grounding down through the soles of the feet and lifting up and out from the hips. Make sure this back leg is straight. Find that strength in the thighs. Another deep breath in. And exhale, lower the hands, step it back to plank. Roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, coming to a side plank position. You can monoski the feet, so take both feet to the mat, inside edge of the left, outside edge of the right, or stack the feet for even more challenge. If this is enough for you or too much, you can come down onto your elbow as well. If you'd like to add on, you can try bringing your left foot to the inside of your right thigh, not placing any weight into that foot, just finding this fallen tree position. You could maybe touch that left knee with the left fingers. Or you could even challenge yourself even more. Take your two peace fingers around your left big toe and come to vasistasana. This super high charged side plank position. Keep lifting your right hip up and then windmill back down into downward facing dog. Very nice. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. Now reaching high with the left leg. Just start by pressing the right heel down into the floor. Really find that strength in the left leg to lift it high. And then you can bend the knee, circle it out. Circling out the left knee, opening up that hip. And back the other way. And then scoop it forward, step it between the hands. Keep your gaze forward and rise up to your high crescent lunge. Take a couple of breaths here. Finding that balance, finding serenity and stillness, even when your body is challenged. Now bringing the hands down. Coming to a plank position, stepping back on the left foot, and then roll over onto the outside edge of the left foot. Again, taking that monoski position with the feet, both feet on the floor, or the right foot stacks on top of the left. Reach up with the right fingers. Again, you could take this down on the elbow if your wrist is feeling very challenged. If you want to add on here, you can bring your right toes to the inside of your left thigh, touch your right knee, maybe even look up if you're really working on challenging your balance today. And again, if it feels good for you, you can take vasistasana, grabbing your peace fingers around your right big toe and kicking that foot up, 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 up. Lift everything up. And then release with control. Come back to downward facing dog. Nice. We'll take a flow here. If you need a child's pose instead, you can do that. Otherwise, come through chaturanga and upward facing dog. Press it back to downward facing dog. From here, breathe in, reach the right leg high. Step it forward into the center. Rise up into a high crescent lunge. From here, take your gaze ahead of you. Visualize yourself in a balancing position, completely serene and stable, grounding down into your right foot. And then from here, we're going to float up into a warrior 3 position. Really pada bandha, ground down into the right foot. Find that straight line with the body. Really extend and point the left toes or flex them so that back leg is engaged, holding your balance here. And then from here, come up. Try not to place your left toes down. Lift the left knee and open it out into a tree position. You can use your hand to help bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Reach up with the arms. Keep your gaze fixed ahead of you and keep your focus on your breath. Now from here, one more balancing position. Bring your right fingers down as you kick back through your left leg, coming to a half moon or a fallen star position, grounding into your right foot. Lift up and back with the left foot and reach your left fingers up towards the sky. Nice. From here, see if you can step it back to a warrior 2 position. Windmill the arms. Take your vinyasa. Breathing into upward dog. Pressing back to downward dog. Ready for that little sequence on the other side. Reach up with the left leg now. Reach it high. Scoop it forward. Step it between the hands. Rise up with control to your high crescent lunge. Hug your lower belly in. Find your breath. And then from here, visualize yourself balancing. Going to attempt this as though it's the very last time you ever get to do this. Ground into your left foot and then float up into your Virabhajasana 3, warrior 3. Finding that straight line. Aeroplane the arms down by your sides. Feel strong and stable. And then float up. Try not to place your right foot down, bring your right knee up, and then you can use the hand to help you come into your tree position. Reach up with the fingers. And then from here, you can kick back into the right foot, bring your left fingers down, tilt the hips open towards the right side as you flex your right toes and reach up with the right fingers. Finding strength, looking out towards the right side if you can. Nice. And then from there, you can step your way back into your warrior 2 position. Windmill the arms. Find your plank. Breathe in. Exhale, halfway down, flip onto the tops of the feet and back to downward facing dog. Look between the hands now. Take a little hop to the outside edges of the mat, coming to a malasana position. You can try taking this little yogi squat on the balls of the feet now to challenge your balance. Feel that stretch through the hips. And then taking the hands in front of you, either keeping the knees on the outsides of the thighs or bringing them all the way up into your underarms, float into a crow position. Gaze forward, balancing on your hands. You can keep the toes on the floor here and just practice that weight shift, trying one foot and then the other, or you can really lift the hips high and then come back into your malasana squat. You can try it a couple of times, just finding your version of that crow position. You could even take blocks underneath your feet if you are newer to the pose. I'll link my how to do crow on the screen here. So when you're ready, trying the pose again, gaze forward. This is super important. Get your knees as high up on the arms as you can, and then tilt all your weight forwards until you feel that lift in the toes. Hug the toes in, point the toes, full body engagement, and then come out with control. Find your breath here. And then you can bring yourself down onto the floor. Take your left foot into the inside edge of into the inner right thigh. We'll just take a nice hip opener here, leaning over towards your right foot. Bring the right elbow down on the floor inside. And then you can maybe reach for your toes if that's in your practice, feeling that amazing stretch down the left side body. If you're up here, that's totally great as well. You are doing your version of the pose. Keep trying to tilt your chest open. Nice. And then coming up, take your right hand onto the front of the left knee. Take your left fingers behind you. Take a twist. Twisting out towards the back edge of the mat. Nice. And now we'll take it on the other side. Bring your right foot into the inside edge of your left thigh. Sit tall on your sitting bones, and then bring the left elbow to the floor on the inside of your left leg and reach over with the right arm. Again, just finding that nice open side body, maybe reaching for the inside of your left foot and the top of your left toes with your right fingers, if that is accessible to you, and rotating the heart open. Taking a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready to come out, float up. Take your left hand across onto the outside of the right knee and twist away towards the top of the mat. Nice. And on an exhale, unwind. Bring yourself to facing the end of your mat. Bring yourself down to lying on your back. And extend the legs out along the floor. Take a nice big exhale through the mat. Find savasana, the corpse position. Palms facing upwards. Some deep breaths here. And now allowing yourself to float into stillness. Perhaps noticing a feeling of equilibrium in your body, maybe in your mind too. No past, no future, just you resting on your mat in this moment. Now wiggling your fingers and toes, turn your head from side to side. And when you're ready, roll over to one side. Press yourself up sideways to a seated position. Cross your legs in front of you and find a tall spine. Take a few deep breaths here. Know that balance is not something you simply find. It is something you can create. You are creating it now through this practice, and you can create it within yourself at any time. And bringing your hands to heart center, bow your head. Thank yourself for practicing yoga today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you loved this practice and you're feeling strong and balanced now. If you did enjoy it, please let me know in the comments and what you would like to see next. I hope you have the most beautiful day. I will see you very soon. Bye.